it's Miss Clap Rich coming to you from my very own home, and I have some really fun things in store for you today. I've been planning all day and I got some fun stuff for you. So first of all, what do we do every day when we're together? We add to our thankful tree. Let's start with that. You know what I added today? My cat. Even though we can't leave our home, at least my kitty keeps me company for sure. So my cat, he's kind of a chunky cat too. He's super cuddly. And you know what else I added? My house plants. I've been taking some extra time to make sure they're watered and pick off little dead leaves and things. I like taking care of my little plants that I have in my house. So let's go down and meet our friend today. So actually, you're gonna recognize this guy. This is Sly the fox from yesterday's video. He just couldn't stay away. He wanted to hang out longer. And remember the card that we talked about yesterday, which was fox ears? Remember we stepped by the door and we listened to all the sounds we could hear outside? So today's lesson is all about the importance of really listening. So I thought it was perfect that Sly the fox could hang around with us and really show us what it's like to really listen. So remember, let's pretend we're gonna put on some fox ears because they have amazing hearing. And we're gonna practice listening. So I'm gonna have 4 different sounds and you're gonna try to guess what they are. We're gonna cover up the camera so you can make sure you don't hear it. Okay, you ready for the first sound? Let's make sure to hear it and really listen, okay? Let's hear this one. What could that be? Let's take a look. You're right, it was a set of keys. That's a pretty easy one. You've all heard that noise before. Great job listening. Okay, are we ready for the number 2? Okay. Do you know what that is? It is water pouring. Very good. Water pouring from one cup to another. Very good. Ready for number 3? Let's do it. Okay, ready? What could that be? Let's take a look. 2 glasses hitting together. Interesting. And maybe you've heard that before. Interesting. Okay, ready? We got one last one for you. It's kind of fun one. Ready? You hear some strings? Is it a guitar? No, close. A ukulele, a little baby guitar almost. It's a little bit higher and a little bit smaller than a normal, stringed kind of looking guitar. So, isn't that fun? Well, I wanted us to really practice listening. Really listening. And you did a great job. You could try playing that with some family members at home. You could hide around the corner and practice doing different sounds and see if they can guess. So the reason we wanted to talk about listening today is because it has to do with what we talked about yesterday. Do you remember what that was? It had to do with us putting on shoes? That's right, empathy. Empathy is what we talked about yesterday. So we're gonna slip on these shoes again and talk about how listening and empathy have to do with each other. So I just put on another pair of shoes, a big pair of shoes. And you know what? Remember, empathy is when you try to understand how someone else is feeling. So when you put on their shoes, you're understanding what life is like to be them. So maybe we'll pretend today, let's pretend you're in your mom's shoes or your grandma or someone in your home and you're thinking, I wonder how they are feeling. They're probably feeling kind of stressed out right now. Everything is changing. The kids aren't at school anymore. I have to be making meals all day long, taking care of my kids. Maybe I'm working, maybe I'm not. I'm feeling kind of stressed. So when you have empathy, you are gonna really listen when your mom talks to you. And maybe she's going on about how frustrating things are. And you're gonna really listen to her. And you know what? So I wanted to talk to you, how to listen with empathy. And I actually wrote down some ideas, something that you can say when you're listening to your mom or someone in your family. This says, that must be really difficult. So when your mom's trying to talk to you or your grandma or whoever, and they're going through a tough time, instead of just like, oh, Mom, you've already talked to me about this, or whatever, or sometimes people really try to fix it and you say, well, Mom, like, why don't you go do this or try that? Don't do any of that. You can brainstorm ideas with her or ask her, would you like some help? But just say, you know what, that must be really difficult. What about this one? You know what? I am so sorry that happened. You're just listening to someone that's having a hard time, and instead of trying to fix it or whatever, you're gonna really listen and say, you know what, I'm so sorry that happened. So I have 2 more ideas of things you can say, but let's try on a different pair of shoes, huh? How about these shoes? Let's pretend that how about a friend from school that you haven't got to see in a long time, and maybe they gave you a call and they're talking to you about stuff that's happening at home, and maybe they're kind of fighting with their siblings, or maybe their parents are feeling really stressed out, and you probably both really miss each other. And you know what you can say to them? Just as an idea, thank you for sharing with me, or thanks for telling me. Because you know what? A lot of times when someone's going through something frustrating, you won't be able to fix it for them. You might not be able to snap your fingers and make school open up again, or make that their siblings get along better. But you can at least tell them, thanks for sharing with me. Or if maybe they're having a fight with their siblings or something, you can say, wow, that must really hurt. Or that must be really frustrating. That's having empathy for them, trying to understand how they feel, and you're really listening, and you're saying that must really hurt. These are some really powerful things that make people feel good when you say them. I know that when I'm going through something frustrating and I'm telling somebody about it, I don't want them to try to fix it or tell me what to do differently. I just want them to listen to me sometimes. Just say, wow, that must really hurt, or thank you for sharing with me. That will make me feel really cared about. Okay, great job listening, you guys. So, our activity for today, we actually have 2 really fun ones. You know how our visitor today was Mr. Fox? Sly the Fox. We're actually gonna try to draw a little fox face, okay? So I kind of drew an outline earlier. So all you do is draw one little ear, then a little curved line, another ear, and then this is kind of like a triangle shape almost. Okay, you're gonna go down, but instead of having a point for the triangle, we'll kind of round it out and go on up. That looks kind of like a little fox face, right? Look at little Sly. So then you can draw some eyeballs, and you can draw this a little differently if you like. This is just an idea. And we'll draw a nice little nose, maybe some little whiskers. Something like that. That's pretty cute, right? So remember, we've been learning how to listen like a fox and really listen with empathy. So on the top of this piece of paper, oh, and maybe we'll draw the little ears I kind of forgot in here. And you can dress it up a little bit more if you want to. But at the top of the piece of paper, we're going to write, when I listen, that's the important word, listen with empathy, trying to understand how they feel, I say. And you can be creative with these, but I'm gonna kind of use the same ones that we talked about earlier. Like, what is this one? Thank you for sharing with me. And wow, that must really hurt. And we'll say it, we'll put that on here, ready? So maybe you can use a different color marker. What else do I have here? Ooh, you might have to get a different color. That one's probably not gonna show up very well, but whatever you want. Let's see. Wow, that must really hurt. And what was another one? Thank you for sharing with me. Those are 2 examples. What was another one? I'm so sorry that happened. And that must be very difficult. Let's write those ones. That must be very difficult. And the other one was, I am so sorry that happened. sorry that happened. And brainstorm with someone in your family. Maybe you can think of some other ones that you want to write down on here. And guess what? You know who else needs to learn these sort of things? Adults too. We have a hard time sometimes really listening to each other. So maybe when you put this together and you can decorate it how you want, maybe you could put it on the refrigerator or somewhere that other people in the house could see too, because I think everybody needs to be reminded of how they can react and listen to each other with empathy. Okay, the last thing, super short and super fun, that has to do with listening. Have you ever heard of making a string or a tin can phone with a string? It's actually pretty fun. It's been around for a long time. So I know since we haven't been able to go to the store as much, I think a lot of us have been eating out of like soup or things out of a tin can. So you should hopefully have a couple of these in your house. Have your parent help you with this part. Have your parent take a nail and a hammer, and you'll pop the nail through the end of the can so it makes a little hole, and you'll do that in both sides. So you'll need your parent or someone in your house to help you with that, an adult. And then I already did it on this one, but take a string. This is another shoestring that I had in the house, and you're gonna stick it through this end of the can, grab it on the inside, and tie a knot. Just one knot, okay? And then you pull it through, and then all you have to do is you'll talk into one end and have the other person listen on the other end. You have to kind of make sure the string's kind of tight, but you'll actually be able to hear each other. And if you can find a really long string, you could try it like around the corner or in 2 different rooms in the house and see what you think and try to hear each other and listen. So I'm glad that you're understanding the importance of really listening. Have fun with this. Try the string tin can activity. Try having people in your house guess what a different sound is, and practice listening to each other and having empathy for them by saying, you know what, thank you for telling me, and I'm so sorry that happened. Practice those things together, okay? So Sly the fox and I are gonna say goodbye. Have an amazing weekend, and I will see you again on Monday. And please remember that I miss you and I care about you. And guess what? Thanks for remembering. Sly just reminded me. Do you know whose birthday it is today? Oakley! Oakley, happy birthday, my dear. I miss you so much. I miss seeing you at school. Thank goodness Sly reminded me it was your birthday. What a special day. You are so special to me, and I hope that you're still watching these videos. I know you've been watching almost every day, and please tell your mom a big hello from me, okay? So happy birthday, Oakley, and I will see you all on Monday. Bye-bye.